Uh, well, bravo, because you did many beautiful things, and it's considered to be one of Chopin's simplest mazurkas, but actually nothing is simple with mazurkas and nothing is simple with Chopin. Wow, I also look at your scores. It's nothing simple in your scores as well. It's because I do write a lot, but this is full of colors. But this is actually a nice sign that there are many colors in your scores, because this mazurka, even though it's small and not many things are happening, it does have lots of nuance. And I think that's something that you can work a bit more. We can look together into them, because it will define, basically it's what you want to say in this mazurka. Some people say that because there is not so much material in this mazurka, it might be just an introduction. Mazurkas, Chopin published 4 mazurkas, Opus 33. This is the first one. So basically, some people, this is kind of an introductory mazurka, because the second and the fourth in this opus are one of the most well-known mazurkas and full of material. So there is something of simplice in it that we have to keep, but change all the nuance. And already, I think the most important is to define the character and the atmosphere. You know what was written here in the, you know what mesto is?
No.
That's very important, because mesto comes in many other mazurkas, in many pieces of Chopin. It's very important. Mesto is, it's kind of broad with sorrow. It's two things together, but it's not really only sorrow, it's plaintif in French. So it's something like a bit of some pain in it. So there is something of heavy-hearted, let's say, heavy-hearted. And this is the atmosphere here. There is something of some kind of, you know, Chopin, the melancholia, it comes within, it's his character. And he even writes it to you. You have to play it mesto. So this is super important to define the atmosphere. And I think could be, you already did it not bad, but you could do it better. And I just want you to, I know that actually, because I see it's written here already, end, which is kind of a nice remark, because it is a very good remark. Probably it's Yossi who told you. Yeah, it's a very good remark. So maybe we can do even more what he wrote. When you say end, try to play the first phrase as if there is nothing after it. There is no mazurka, there's just this phrase. That was beautiful, and it guards the simplice. And in a way, you can even, not much exaggerate, but you can even do a bit, like this, a bit maybe more. And you know, don't be afraid to really, because there is something very special about this mazurka, which is genius of Chopin, of course. Everything looks simple, but it's never simple. That he actually wants to evoke a memory. And what better way to evoke a memory than ending the mazurka in its own beginning, and then the theme that starts, it starts already from the past. It's a memory. So, you know, I didn't play it for many years. Okay. Or even more, you know, like. So it starts from something from nowhere, you know. It already ended, so there is a vacuum here, there is a void, and this makes the mesto in a very simple way. You don't have to do. That's not the tragedy of Chopin. The tragedy of Chopin is the loneliness, actually. And look how much of a lonely line after this chord. So it's he uses a certain phrase which is almost he is alone. You know, he doesn't put any chord, any accompaniment. You're all exposed in the world. And this, yes, of course. Yeah, I think that you did beautifully at the beginning. I think that you kind of put both of the phrases now in the same level. And the first phrase is the ending. It's one text. The line that comes after is a second. It's a new material. It's born from the ending. So basically, after you do, you start to tell a new story. Okay. By the way, your edition is Härle also, no?
No, this is Excerpt.
Okay, because I have an Härle text and I never heard it like this, but basically it's still. It's.
But here it's like.
Here it's connected, but it's not a very good idea. And Härle just not connected. I don't know other editions why they would, but it's part of the idea. Of course, you can also do it when it's connected. It's born from the note. Also, it's possible, but if you start like the text, it's really a new beginning.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It was very beautiful. Very beautiful. And here you did very well also. But here he writes also the accent on the mi. So it's a kind of a response, you know. Again, ending. So every time this motif of ending, you don't have to do ritenuto, but it's not the same material like these two. The Antwort, the Antwort. Don't disconnect. It's just another tone. It's like a child is asking and the mother is replying. Okay. Ritenuto. It's just the character. Yum, da, da, yum. Oh, take your time. Yeah, but the thing is that the first time when you do this motif, then you can do this. But later on, when it has to continue. It's beautiful. In a way, you are telling a story here, and you always have to think, especially with Mazurka Chopin, you have to think, how are you narrating? You're a storyteller in a way, and storyteller doesn't mean that you have to do big gestures of it, but you have always with the tone. It changes the tone, every harmony, every nuance. You have to, like a person telling a story, with your voice doesn't stay monotonous. You have lots of colors in your voice.
And when it comes to the third time, this.
It's a matter of taste. I think that there is a certain simplice kind of, there is a character. The first phrase you can do a bit, it's not written, but I think it's a nice musical idea to start it a bit as an end in order to put light onto this very special phrase of, so this, but later on, if you do every time ritenuto, it loses its, mazurkas, we're not dancing this, but mazurkas are eventually based on dances, and pulsation is so important. So whenever, as we spoke before in the talk, whenever you take rubato, you have to pay back. So also, you can do things, but within the pulsation. Now here, actually, it's very interesting material when you come here, because he did the introduction, twice he repeated it, the material, and then it's a different color, and we spoke here, and it's nuanced, it's not that, it's not a cuckoo, you know, like that. It's just, it's a new material here that comes, and basically something a bit, the sound is a bit less tragic and a bit thinner, I would say, but you did already quite well already from the first time you played it. Let's try the transition before and when you go into it. Can you start a bit before, because the context is important. You lost a bit the pulsation of it. You know? Yeah. No stress, no stress. It's just you keep the pulsation, but when you enter this chord, you discover a new color. Well, and there is a crescendo, but just remember that it's quite a fragile, still, it's not a big bravura place. Be careful, really you did it very well, but be careful not to do too much. The excitement is good, you have to feel excitement, you're young, it's important. But just be careful with the dynamics, not to become a bit aggressive or too forte. It's not more than a beautiful fresh pa-dum. Okay. It's a bit too, maybe also physically you have to release a bit, it's a bit too tight. Yeah. It's quite simple, and you do it with the not with the fingers, but with the wrist.
I should do it with the wrist.
Not with the shoulder, with the wrist. Much better already. It's also much better than when you played it first time. The because you're starting to tell a story, you're singing it. You're not concentrated on the technical part. Yeah, it has to be. Really? Be playful a bit with the voices. Again, it's the same tendency as before. I understand that you want to show that there is a new section coming, but the whole point of the mazurka is again to show it through the nuance and not to announce it with a tempo. So try to avoid the ritenuto, because you see, the tone will show you the new material. And also, this time now was better, but when you played first time, the forte was very, very much too aggressive, too strong. It's just, it doesn't start here a bravura place. It's just much, much, much warmer. In a way, this is a forte, which is very important actually in Chopin, because many people interpret forte as something immediately of bravura. And especially in mazurkas, which are such delicate miniatures, the forte here is a forte of you open your heart. This is the most warm you can imagine. So So if you were a singer here, you would do a very rich, warm sound, but it's not more than that. It doesn't mean that you are harsh in any way, because this is the character. But before. You can give even more.
Again, a bit too much, but
and also you did again a ritenuto. So
where?
Dum, 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 dum. This you have the last time because he writes it, but with the fermata. But if you do every time a ritenuto in the end of a phrase, you are breaking the mazurka.
Okay.
So it's all, as I said, it's tricky. It looks like the most simple mazurka ever, but this is exactly Chopin. He makes the transitions in a small nuance, and transitions are transitions not of sound only, but the sound reflects a character. So it's a mazurka that starts in a tragic mesto. It goes after to this a bit more delightful color, and now suddenly he has this appassionato that he writes actually appassionato, and so. So it can be very warm, and by the way, also you can insert a little bit here. It's a matter of taste, but you can insert a bit of a mazurka rhythm. So yeah, here. So basically you can a bit play now with another character with a bit of mazurka rhythm as well.
From here?
Yeah. Don't prepare it.
Okay, but I want to try with the mazurka rhythm. I forgot to do this.
As you wish, but just don't break the pulsations. You can play it with more love. Were you in love ever?
Maybe not.
I don't know. It's a good question always.
Okay, yeah.
So try when you come to this theme, try to think about this emotion when you're in love. Totally lift your hands. It's a continuation.
Maybe I didn't love, you know?
No, it's before the love. Before the love. It's don't break the phrase by you do tiam pa pam and then you take the hands out. There is no need.
Okay. But it's very different.
It is different, but you will do it with your sound, with your heart, and also you don't do a legato, but you don't have to lift your hand. It breaks it. Tom, tom, never, don't stop. Yeah. Here actually you can, but that's the only place actually that you can, because it ends the material, the phrase ends here. So here, before the fermata, it's a matter of taste, but if you want to do a ritenuto, it's totally fine. But before this, if you do every time a ritenuto, it breaks the pulsation, it breaks also the rhythm of the mazurka, it breaks the rhythm basically. So I don't know if you want to try one last time. And
I will do from here.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
In the end, I'm here to help you also. You know, I don't force anything, but
no, I really like
like it. Just really, really be careful, and that will be very relevant for the next mazurka, not to break pulsation by... There are places where ritornando will serve you well, like before the fermata, but you have to use the rhythm and change it with your heart, with your colors, with dynamics, but pulsation never to be lost.
Okay, yes.
Okay? So you want to continue? Yeah. I think it's very beautiful. You are coming back to the first theme, so you have to connect very well to the atmosphere of the mesto. So you did it, but I would really pay attention to this, because, you know, Chopin has this genius that in one note that he's holding, he ends one world and he creates a new world again. So this is the connection after the fermata. You have instantly in your heart to go back to the first character. You are like an actor here. You are telling different stories, different line, and you have to very, very quickly change your heart. Not to change your fingers, but your heart. And the fingers will change with it. And I think you did well. You just tried to reflect a bit more about this melancholic character. And I think the very, very end, if you can try to do it with a little bit even more of resignation, you are giving up, basically. You are really resigned. You can work that. And if you need a little bit of ritenuto, you can help yourself with this too, but it's the ending. It's really, it started with the end, and here it really ends. Oh, nice. And the last chord should be only, you know, not a bit just as you did now. It's just yum. Okay? We can work on it a bit together. I think what will serve you well would be, again, to very well define the characteristic of each area, of each part. And also the rhythmical elements are very important. Sometimes there is some rushing, or in some, not a mistake, but systematically in a few places, which could be very easily fixed. It's just needs a bit of attention. One thing that I was a bit wondering, when you came back to the theme in the last page, you did a bit more of mazurka rhythm generally in the left hand, which I liked, but you, for some reason, didn't do it in the beginning. Is it a choice, or is just by chance?
Well, sometimes like this, sometimes like that.
Okay, but feeling is important, but defining is even more important. So the feeling has to be served on a very strong basis of definition. So I would recommend to, because in the beginning when you played, it lacked a bit. It was just like a bit kind of a rushed waltz sometimes, but it lacked a bit the mazurka pulsation. So. Better in my eyes, and actually the pulsation can serve you musically, because it prevents you of rushing to some places. The last beat takes a bit of time, and when you get used to it, so you don't have to rush to the you don't have to rush to the beginnings, because the pulsation in a natural way, you don't have to wait, but in a natural way gives you a bit of time to define it, you know? it's better. Again, it's a matter of taste. Now you kind of gave up on the mazurka rhythm you did. It could be. It's a matter of taste. It's really how much you measure, more mazurka, less mazurka. There is no rules here. It's not written. But some people who heard Chopin, they said that sometimes he exaggerates so much, of course not in all places, that they thought it's in 4 beats instead of 3, because he really took his time. But again, this is a kind of a place which is not very mazurka-like, so it's a matter of taste. Later on, we'll have places with more mazurka. Here, when you did before, I didn't really understand the third beats were gone, actually. Let's try this place. But you understand that there is a certain fixation that entered, and you are a bit hard for you to leave it. But actually, of course, you can play with the rhythm. It's not. No. Of course, it's so I would do it in a personal like this. Something like this, but again, it's a matter of taste. But what is important is don't swallow the bits. It's already better. It's already better. After, I would work on it simple, like. And once you have this established, then you can play with it, like swing. Then you can allow yourself to swing, but you have the pulsation. It's already much better, I find, and again, as you feel right, but I think also before you did it, when you go into the major, you can change a bit color. Yeah? For yourself, you're enjoying the harmonies, Yeah, and you see that he wrote the last 5 years accentuated in a different register. That's another way of Chopin in a tricky way to say this is still mazurka. So yam pam pam ya da dan ta yam ta di. Always there is this delay before the third. He writes here sotto voce. It means also there is a different color here. Yeah. I think, if you agree with me, it's a different register. It's not the same material like before. You have lots of changes. So after you have, and then suddenly it's true. So it's very loud piano. So there is something a bit rustical, a bit more modalic, and he writes sotto voce, so I would do it with a bit more defined, thin sound.
Bit more defined sound?
We had, when Pina was saying rasé, the sound is a bit more focused. It's not, it's sotto voce, but it has this kind of
more thin.
Thin, yeah. You see, it's a different color.
Yes, very different.
It's a different color, and it gives you something of a bit folklore, It's a different instrument, almost. The piano allows you to do like many instruments, so here you have a different instrument. And this motif will come back every time. It will help you. It's rondo that repeats itself. The theme comes again and again and again. So this color helps you to also make the work more interesting and more touching for us, because we don't want to repeat the same sound all the time. Okay? You want to continue? swing a bit more if you want. If you want, you can swing a bit more. But it's already much better, I find. I hope you find as well.
Yeah, I also find.
Okay. Maybe a bit less pedal in time. Not too loud, it's sotto voce. And here I like what you do. I don't do it, but I like it. But don't do it every time the same, because you have the thing, you take the and then you do something like this. I mean, it's nice, but if you do it every time, it becomes a manierism. So you can do it, first time you can do it, second time. You know, something like this, more simple, for example. Just don't do the same time every time. Same. That's rhythmically a bit rushed and not held. Okay, you do da da yum 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 yum. You know, it's you. And also you have a theme here. You know, it's not only chords. So and if you want to do more mazurka, you can do less mazurka. But this is you have to be very clear about the rhythmical part. Much better, but it's a bit heavy. It's much better. Look, he writes a legato for this part. You see? It's not. It's, you can. That you did a bit rushed. You know, it should be not strict, but not rushed. Okay, you know. In the totality of the pulsation, don't rush it. I guess you heard.
Yes, I heard.
Yeah. Okay, you will work on it, but it's important that you hear it. You know? You want to try again?
Yes.
Transition, bravo. And I think if you prepare so beautifully the transition from this richness of sound into the solitude again, it's a pity not to continue, because then you went a bit like everything is fine now, but it's continue a bit with this character. So you came back to ordinary life. Everything is fine, you know. But it's a bit more tragic than this. I find it better. You can even take more time before, but I find it better because basically Chopin is playing with us emotionally. He's switching all the time, and then he plants one note which evokes a memory. You know a bit. Have you read a bit Proust? No. It's a good read. It's a long read. It takes a few years, but he starts his very famous book En recherche de temps perdu, looking for in search of the lost time. It's a very famous first scene. he eats madeleine in his house of his uncles in Cambrai, and suddenly, this is the first beginning of the book, and suddenly from this taste of the madeleine, it evokes the whole memory of his childhood and the stories, and a saga of a million books and a few years of writing starts from this madeleine. And Chopin is a genius in these kind of things. He knows how to plant one note and bring us back to a different character. So he established this B minor. And then after he does a C bemol, you know, and then and this moment of this, he always plants us back into the different moods or the memories. He speaks about memories when. In his time, almost no composer spoke about memory. He spoke about memories. And I think it's so important, especially the Mazurkas, which are like his intimate diary of his life. It's important to be super attention to the evocations of the characters and the memories. So if you come back to this, come back to the first character, or even a memory of the first character. But it was so much better now. We were great. Accentuate the bass.
Because
it's a pity, no?
Maybe.
Did he write an accent there?
No.
Because he's leading you. And by the way, your edition, I see, shortened it. There are different editions because of the facsimile, the manuscript. There are two versions. Your version goes directly into the second part, and in my Ortex version, it goes still again. All the way again, everything. It doesn't go so quickly, but okay, this is editions. I would recommend to look at Härle. And then. Okay, so he leads you there, but if it's. But you're the generation of rock and roll, so yes. But you know, if it was heavy metal or something, but you know, it's Chopin. It's still, and there is a preparation. Or even more, but not, you know, not something out of context. Feel the tension. It goes there. You can give more, but it's just you have to feel the tension going there. And then don't rush.
Yeah, don't rush it.
Why are you rushing for the ta-da-dum, tum-tum-yum? It will be easier for you even. Try. You play sometimes with ta-da-dum, dum-pa-yum. In rhythm. understand.
Yeah, I understand, but it's difficult. Yeah.
It's difficult because it's not because it's difficult technically. Actually, you are making your life technically more complicated. Because if you have a bit of more time to go to the yam, it's technically even easier. It's difficult because you became used to a certain idea, and you don't want to let go so easily. But you are making yourself life more difficult, and eventually also rhythmically it's become distorted a bit. Give you the time, John. Bit more, yeah. A bit more. This is a place of a proud person. You have to be proud. Chopin had a lot of pride also. So yum 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 da da yum yum. Okay. You are fighting against yourself.
Yes.
So what you have to do at home is to just take it to clean everything. Just play it very, very simple rhythmically. Chum, pum, pum. We spoke about a metronome before. You don't have to do metronome, but just work on it very simple to take off a bit habits. Yum, pum, yum, and try to do legato. La, da, yum, da, yum, and then this is rhythmical. Tiram, tiram, da, da, yum, tiram, tiram. You work on it slower like this, you clean yourself, get used to it, then you can give a bit more zest after, but you have to have a very, very good foundation, because before this was the most distorted part in the whole mazurka when you played. You really did, it rushed, it lacked the, when you build a building, it lacks the structure, the scaffolding. So this is super important that you work slower and more conscious, and with a good sense of rhythm and musicality, because you do the legato. There is a slur. Okay? You can work on it. We don't have to do everything today. You want to continue?
Yes.
I think, bravo, because it's really beautiful. There is elegance here, there is beauty. This is really, it shows that you can do all these things, you see? So you just have to be more aware, but you have the talent for it. And again, it's a matter of taste. You take it in a very kind of elegant way, which is nice. I think this is a place where you can, again, show a bit more of his heart. So yeah, again, I didn't play, but... You can really talk, sing, with the pulsation. The heart and you show it. Be careful just that sometimes you take the ritenuto, which is nice, but if you take the ritenuto again, it's like rubato, you have to give it back. Be careful not to go out of pulsations. you know, so you have to be careful not to stop the line. And another small thing is that I think that you can allow yourself sometimes, even if it's a very beautiful melodic place, you can allow yourself to do a bit of the mazurka rhythm too, you know, so. Sorry. Okay, if you take time. You see, there is a certain, it's very fine thing. In mazurka, it's very difficult to teach it because you have to feel it. But after everything is well established rhythmically, you can do the, you know. No, I don't want to exaggerate it, but there is a certain way that you swing a mazurka, which the third comes a bit later, in pulsation. So. You can want to try. I mean, it's a bit complicated to do it. Before you did it, play it with love. Don't cut it. Before you play it with more love.
But I don't love the mazurka rhythm.
No, but so don't do the mazurka rhythm. But you have to love the melody. You have to love the music. With the ritenuti, because you really have context.
You mean here?
Everywhere, hear what you did, and if you take a bit, you have a pulsation. I don't want to cut your heart. I mean, you have to do it still with your heart. I mean, even if you, we have to finish. Okay, soon. Okay. I don't want, you know, if I give you a remark and the result is that you are playing with a bit of antagonism, that's the worst part, because you have to play it with love. And you did already. So keep this in any scenario. This is a place of tenderness and love and passion. Yeah. Okay? Okay. You want to go forwards? Yeah. It's good, it's not easy technically, you do it well, but again, you can define it a bit more rhythmically. It's again the same story of the rhythm. Sorry. Sorry, here we go. I didn't practice it, so. There's a certain rhythm that you have to keep. Relax, all fine.
Yes. No, I'm relaxed.
Okay. Wasn't it better?
Yes, but I have to practice it.
Of course, we all have to practice. I also have to practice it, but I think it's you hear the difference. That's what's important for me. Mazurkas are so much about the rhythm and pulsation and colors and many things, but this is the basis of it. Okay, you want to continue? it's a bit imitating this taram taram. So yum taram taram yum taram. Basically, you are just in a very. This is the genius of Chopin again. In a very different material with one line, he's evoking the memory of what just happened. You didn't play this yum pa 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 pam yum pa 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 pam. You didn't play it like this.
There's no legato like.
Yeah, legato, but you can just steal the rhythm.
Okay.
Yum yum bra bra. Yum bra. You understand? You're imitating the same rhythm.
Yes.
Okay? It's yum bra bra yum bra, and it's not the same in chords. It's yum bra bra yum bra bra. Legato. Isn't it more interesting? It's just evoking what you did before.
Yes.
Try to think, how did I do before? Yum bra bra yum bra, and then he's doing it. It's like a what we call in Baroque also a contrapunct in one hand, in one line. In what it's Bach also did it. So in one line you have two voices, and it's yam para para pa para para. Okay.
Okay.
You want to continue to end it?
From just okay.
Let's do ta-di da dum pa dum. And you know, it's like okay. Here it starts to change the character, but in the beginning it's evoking the memory. You want to start? Start to change. You did brilliantly, and you did now the same thing you did before. You did everything brilliant, and then you cut and it leads to the theme. This is the magic of this place. It's like you took the most magical thing out and you took us the candy. Start a bit before. And you know what? You're concentrating on the technical part. Think about the character. You are bringing us to the memory again. Not so direct. It's a memory. Start. Try. More folklore, sotto voce. Not very loud, huh?
Yes.
now it's a matter of taste, because he doesn't really write. He just write risoluto here. Yeah, riservaglianto. But basically, it's like risoluto, and he doesn't write dynamics. I would not do such an extreme. After all this beautiful, delicate, dreamlike world he created for us, bomba. The canon woke us up. I would do something very dignified, with character, but not that strong. It could be. Yeah, okay. Bravo.